under like some.
You're thinking a
laws?
Ponzi scheme.
Oh, okay, that's Ponzi
Big
scheme.
difference. Ponzi scheme is an actual thievery.
Okay.
Pyramid scheme is a real sales thing. I mean, you're buying a real product and they're selling you something.
Yeah.
I mean, like I would argue what's in the powder, but there's fat margin, and there's enough fat margin that everybody down lower on the scale behind you, I mean, realtors have products like this where they bring people into the brokerage and they get paid the same way. It's basically a big,
talk about
it's very
fat
good
margin.
at promoting.
Talk about realtors and fat margin. Goodness
It's
me.
less than you think, actually.
Oh.
Like the actual check off is huge, but the costs are high. I would agree that the commission is high, especially because realtors get the same commission they did when housing was like a quarter of the price less than 10 or 15 years ago. So, but the costs have gone up a lot. Video, marketing, advertising, it's expensive.
How you doing? Good week?
Pretty good. Lots of real estate deals going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I seen you sold the one house.
Yeah.
Or accepted offer.
Accepted offer, yeah. It was a cash offer. But so in BC, when you have a cash offer, and by cash offer, I mean no subjects. Like somebody says they're buying it. They don't have to do a home inspection. They don't need financing. They're buying it. 5 years ago, if you did that, it was considered sold. You could tell people as soon as the deposit check was in, which would usually be within 24 hours, you could tell people what it sold for. Well, because of bidding wars in 21 and 22 and people paying $200,000 over asking and being greased by realtors to pay over, which is why people don't like realtors, because realtors are very pushy to get deals done. To be fair to realtors, many clients wanted their realtors like, hey, we want this house no matter what. So the realtor's like, well, I guess you better offer 10% over asking. So I came in being a realtor right in the very end of that, in the craziness, early 22. Because of that.
Why'd you become a realtor?
Well, somebody asked me that the other day, when you became, because I list a lot of expensive places. I listed a farm yesterday for over $8 million, a chicken farm. I'm listing another one soon. People said, oh, did you expect to get those listings when you became a realtor? And I said, you don't expect anything because that leads you to great disappointment. It's just like I always say, right? In marriage,
you thought
right?
about it though. Like you didn't do it
I
for
did,
no reason.
and I'll tell you why. I was pretty sure. I told them I thought I would, and the reason I said that was because in probably in 2017 or 18 already, I was buying and selling stuff and doing a lot of cattle deals and hay deals. And I put together, and I wasn't, it could have happened anyways, but like I kind of like connected all the dots, and 3 farms transferred in Abbotsford, and all pretty expensive, between 5 and 7 million, 3 of them. So it was a pretty big deal. And I didn't know much about realtors and fees, but I just did it at 1%, on 17 million or whatever. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. If I would have had my license, I could have made some money here.
Yeah.
And I like the social aspect of it. I like the relational piece of it. I like doing the deals, like actually the complexity of selling farms with quota and sometimes thinking outside the box, and ulterior financing and vendor takebacks and lots of different things that you do that when you sell a house, you typically just sell the house and it's pretty straightforward. It's financed through a normal bank. But
so I'm assuming this adds a bunch of time to your week every week. You were pretty busy in 21. What did you cut out? Did you get rid of anything?
I just spent less time with my wife. Bad joke. Didn't spend a lot with her in 21 either. I think back we had 3 kids under 3 years old. Went from 2 kids to 5 kids in 3 months, right? When the 3 littles came. And then for some reason in 23, she thought we should take a 6th child. She must have had an easy day. Actually, ironically,
that was her.
It was her doing. So I did not do that. A lot of people put all the bad decisions in our family on me and all the good ones on her, which there's some truth to that. But she was gone to a conference with some lady friends. It was a foster adoptive conference or something in Ontario with some great ladies. And we got the phone call about the baby that we have now living with us as a foster boy about that. And I just put it on her. I said, hey, I'm not doing that well here right now without you here. Like, if you think it's a good idea to add a 6th kid, and it was supposed to be short term, and it always is. So, I mean, we should have probably known better, but it was definitely a situation where it wasn't meant to be what it has become. And, so she says, oh, no, I think we should. And it's been a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful family.
Beautiful kid.
Yeah, a very beautiful kid. And we know, and his family's wonderful, his family. But so we're fostering him right now. We don't know. We have no idea how that's going to look going forward. But back to the realtor thing, I think that, you joked about the commissions. I mean, farms obviously a lot larger, but farms don't necessarily sell. And
so
sometimes,
you say, you don't actually make that much. Like
a commission is 2.5%, typically 3%, somewhere in there.
So on
right?
$8 million.
Yeah, and then you split it with the person buying.
Yeah.
Right, and usually in half, or you might keep a little more because you have all your advertising costs. I usually run, my advertising bills anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000 a month. Right, so it's a lot. Like I'm marketing my farms in Ontario and Alberta. all the places where, and I've had people fly out in the last few weeks to look at stuff because of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's a feast or famine thing too. It's similar to your world where it's like, you don't kill, you don't eat. And I think that's healthy, but in a way it also creates problems if you do sell a lot. A lot of realtors like in 22 just took on extravagant payments and lots of, rental properties and just things that were totally fine when they were doing like 3 or 4 or 5 deals a month. And then now I've heard of realtors doing nothing for 9 months this year.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.